Okay, some historical introduction. I had the chance to participate in the first workshops that Gaspar organized on microprocessors and fast electronics for particle physics in 85 and 87. This was setting the basis for the LIPS branch on electronics and instrumentation at that time. Gaspar has been my supervisor for 10 years, since I finished my degree in 85 and until I have completed my PhD in 95. He has always trusted and supported my work, and he was a source of great inspiration for me and for others. In 86, Portugal was joining CERN and LIP was created. And during the unforgettable summer of 86, me and Gaspar were developing the first electronics, a card from LIP for CERN. We were based in an electronics lab that Gaspar has just created near Trieste in the ICTP. We were in full immersion for several months, working, eating, and sleeping in the laboratory on location. And we have created something that we called FARS, for Fast Acquisition and Create Encoder. And it worked very well when we installed it in a 38 data acquisition. So it was not a farce, it was a real thing. The next project was a participation on the first optical link for Delphi, but Delphi was not ready, so we installed it in Aleph, and then in Delphi. And my thesis, during my thesis, Gaspar was a co-supervisor, and after that I moved to CERN, where I worked in controls for cryogenics and vacuum controls. And then later on, since 2013-15, I reestablished a closer contact with Gaspar while he was delegate from Portugal to the CERN Council, and also the coordinator for the FCT program of engineers, trainee engineers at CERN. So CERN was founded in 54 by 12 European states. Currently there are 23 member states. Portugal joined in 86. This is a photo from Gaspar of the inauguration of the new Esplanade des Particules some time ago, recently. Just to remind staff, there are 2,600 staff at CERN, 1,800 fellows and associates, and some 14,000 external users. And the budget of CERN is 1.2 thousand million Swiss francs. In brief, I will recall the 4 points of CERN's mission, to which Gaspar has contributed along his rich scientific life. First one, to push back the frontiers of knowledge, develop new technologies for accelerators and detectors, train scientists and engineers of tomorrow, and promote science for peace. So Gaspar subscribed all of these points. There are many technology fields at CERN. Portugal and Gaspar have contributed to many of those: electronics, computing, cryogenics and vacuum control systems, electricity, magnets, robotics, radio frequency mechanics, material science, etc., etc. Gaspar LIP Portugal participated in the 3 main technological domains of CERN, meaning accelerators, detectors, computing, and the spin-offs on medical applications for proton therapy, imaging diagnostics, therapy simulations. Speaking about industry, CERN is very concerned about the return of investment to the member states in terms of supplies and services, and classifies the countries as well and poorly balanced according to the ratio of the investment back into the country related to the contribution, the annual contribution to CERN. There are several success stories, like the ISQ just remembered before, FASEC, and many others. In 2014, FCT has published a list of industries that have been participating with CERN under the large research facilities. Currently, the situation, Portugal is paying 12 million Swiss francs contribution to CERN annually. And there have been years where the return was quite high, like in 2012, it was about 8 million, and the return should be around some 3 to 4 million, and in the last years it's a bit below that, and the return in industrial services is even worse. So there have been lately some initiatives to get back to a good return. The first one was 3 years ago, the first high luminosity workshop for the industry in Europe, but it was taking place in Lisbon, where many people from CERN came to show what is going on, how to sell to CERN, and what are the technologies going on. And last Wednesday, we had a big delegation headed by the Minister of Science and Technology, comprising more than 60 people. There were people from the Science Ministry, the Foreign Office, from FCT, ISEP, IAPME, INI, Chamber of Commerce, etc., several universities and polytechnic institutes, and more than 20 people from industries. So we hope that this will be the seed for some more collaboration with universities and with the industries. Now about people. There are well-known, interesting places to work on, like Apple, Google, and CERN has even higher rankings for some of these points. And it also comes on the press and other analysis. So CERN seems to be a good place to work. And Portuguese people seem to like to work at CERN. This would be the normalized return in number of people from Portugal. And we have a bit more staff members and fellows and doctoral students than the average. So that's a good point for Portugal. Technical students, we are quite below. At CERN, related to CERN, there are more than 17,000 people in the world. Like I said, 2,600 staff, 1,400 students and fellows, 1,300 project, several types of associates, and more than 12,000 users from the institute. There are several career programs for young people at CERN. I would mention namely the trainees from the FCT, the program on which Gaspar has been involved for the last years, more than 20 years, and the project associates with more than 40 people from Instituto Superior Técnico. The Polytechnic of Leiria also has a collaboration since 3 years ago. Gaspar was there for the signature of that collaboration. Now, the trainees from FCT, it's a program that is running since 23 years ago. Almost 200 young engineers have passed by this program. And some of them used to stay a bit more on the other contracts at CERN. Now, in total, there are more than 200, almost 300. There are more than this, Portuguese related with CERN. Some 70 associates and students, some 60 staff, and here we see the people that came to the visit of the science minister 3 years ago. There are about some 60 people there. And there are some more than 100 external users which are distributed along the universities of Portugal and also LIB. This visit of the science minister 3 years ago happened during Gaspar's birthday, and this is a visit more time ago, 2012, with the president of FCT, Miguel Seabra and Mariano Gago. And 2011, Gaspar was smiling, happy to see Durão Barroso at CERN. And 1 week ago, during the visit, the big visit last week, we had a tribute to Gaspar by Fabiola Gianotti, the Director General of CERN, and by Manuel Leitor, the Science Minister. Voilà. Thank you.